VeChain price breakout.
Let's get into it.
So today, guys, we will be taking a cheeky look at the VeChain price action. We'll be taking a look at the VET coin on that daily chart, that 4-hourly chart, and that 1-hourly chart. We'll be taking a look at those key technical indicators such as the Fibonacci retracement. We'll be taking a look at the 50, 100, 200 moving averages along with the relative strength index and volumes. We'll be trying to compare each of these charts and trying to make sure we can see what's going to happen here with the VET coin. Are we on the verge of another breakout for VeChain? As we get into this video, guys, if you find it useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate that. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you would like to stay up to date with those new cryptocurrencies, hidden gems, technical analysis and news that we cover here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, then do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll become, well up to date with absolutely everything we do here. It is free and you'll stay well informed, so why not? And Chris, is there anything else you would like to add before we jump on down to the charts and start taking a look at the price action for the VET coin?
Well, I guess BTC has had a bit of a trip up to today, well, last night, and the impacts can still be felt today. Are you picking up any VeChain? Let me know in the comments below. Really interested to know.
Absolutely. So let's jump on down and get right on into this VET price breakout. Right, so here we are. This is VeChain to the USDT, the daily chart, and Binance is the data source for this piece of analysis. We have got this Fibonacci retracement tool on here, and this runs from that low level of the 31st of March through to the high that was achieved on the 17th of April. That was a 17-day rally to the upside that was 241% in gains. Since then, we've actually been trading sideways here for 4 days now, and things are very, very interesting. So what we can do is we can see here that we actually have had pretty much kind of hovering right down onto that 702 Fibonacci retracement area. That comes in at 22 cents, okay? We also had a wick come down as low as the 618 and also just below that 50% retracement. Now, we do have a yellow line on here. This is an area of resistance that we've marked up. This comes in at 25.3 cents approximately. So this is the area where we're trying to break through and get above. And right now, we were actually quite low on the chart here on the 702 line, just above the 702, just above 22 cents at the point of recording this video. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at all of these different levels of time zones on the charts and see, what's actually going to be going on, because we do have this relative strength index down at the bottom here, and it has been correcting quite nicely over the past 4 days. We were overbought when it came to VeChain. This was as high as 87 on that relative strength index, and we are no longer overbought at 66. So what we're looking for here is to see if we're actually gearing up for another rally to the upside and hopefully pierce past that 25.3 resistance line. So that breakout right there is what we're looking for, and obviously once we're past that, we'll hopefully be going up and past all-time high levels. So what we want to do is we want to see the volumes and see how they're doing. We'll see how those averages are doing as well, and we'll make sure that we're nice and low on that relative strength index on the hourly and 4-hourly. So let's take a look at what is actually going on the daily to start with. Here we can see the volumes are decreasing nicely over time here. So after we had this huge rally to the upside here, this 241% gains, and we had topped that volume out right at the top there. Then obviously the volume started to decrease as we were correcting our price. And because that was a decrease in volume, it ran out of steam on the downside very, very quickly. So within 4 days, we actually consolidated down to that 702. And that was courtesy of the fact that the volumes were dropping. Obviously, in that move to the downside, we have corrected that relative strength index and we are no longer overbought either. So that was actually a pretty good move with a sharply decreasing volume like that. That was really helping to protect the VET coin price here. So what we're going to do is pull this down into our 4-hourly. And again, just take a little bit of a deeper dive onto what is going on. Here we can see that major area of resistance that we're fighting up against here. And obviously we can see the support areas down here at the 702. We also have this 50 moving average just moving up below our candles at the moment. So that's going to be a good area of support if we need it. We can see how it was close to this area here as well. And it's been kind of giving us a bit of support along that journey. We have the 100 moving average actually quite a bit of a distance away from our 50 moving, and obviously the same with our 200. So on this 4-hourly chart, if we're going to get support from a moving average, it's going to have to be the 50 moving average at the moment. Otherwise, we're breaking right down past a 50% retracement to get that 200 moving support. But with that being said, we also do have a support line here at 18.7. So if there were a breakdown for any particular reason, there's good support in here. Now, it's looking pretty good because that 702 is an area of interest, right? We have this flipped as an area of support over here and over here, and it was acting a bit of resistance here and here, but right now we're actually in a pretty good spot just above the 702 at 22.3 cent at the point of recording this video. Now, if we take a look at these volumes, they are decreasing over time. A big macro view is a decreasing volume, and there are little pockets of micro pumps here and there. But the bigger view here, guys, is that the volume is nice and low. So low volume on the way down is key. And obviously at the same time, we've gone from an over bought area, and we've actually corrected down onto this relative strength index at about 47. So pretty good correction here below that midway point with loads of room to grow when the time comes. Down here at that 37.41, this is our key area. This is the area where, we often bounce off from. So we're getting closer and closer to our 37.41, and we're only 10 points away on that relative strength index. So things are looking pretty good on that 4-hourly. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly chart. Here we can see that, yeah, absolutely. So basically we're almost oversold as we're coming down towards the end here, and basically getting close to that 200 moving average. Obviously, when you're that low down at the bottom there, Chris, when you are tracking at I think it's like 31, there's only one place to go, right?
Yeah, definitely, and that's up.
That's up. So obviously,
for anyone that wasn't sure,
that's it. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So right here on that line, we're actually looking like we're going to get another bounce from the 37.41 as at the point of recording this video. So by the time you actually probably watch this, I think Vechain probably would have started its rally to the upside, and there's huge amounts of growth here. So as long as those volumes start to come in, we should be in a pretty good spot here with Vechain and the VET coin. Now, obviously, micro view here is these hourly volumes are decreasing, so that's helping to get us right down here in that low end of that relative strength index. And the macro view, again, is still a decreasing volume, although slightly flatter. So what we're looking for is to get a real good spike with positive volume coming in here on Vechain. And we are low enough to take advantage of that on this relative strength index. So one way or another, we will be moving the price up. The question will become how strong that volume is determines how high the price will potentially go. So right now, the 50 and the 100 moving averages are above our candles, with the 200 moving average below. So we're kind of sandwiched between those averages. And obviously that 25.3 is the target that we're looking to try to get above. What we want to do is we want to go and pierce above 25.3, confirm it as support, and then go for all-time highs. So what we're trying to do here, guys, is if I grab hold of my, where are you? Maybe it's under this one. No, it should be here. Arrow, right? So if I grab my arrow here, what we're trying to do is we want to kind of do this kind of scenario. We want to go up, we want to come back down, back test on this area here, and then we want to shoot on up. Okay, so this is the kind of move that we're looking to try to achieve here with Vechain. And obviously in doing so, we'll pull this relative strength index up. We'll obviously want to pull the relative strength index back down, and we obviously then want to pull it back up again. Okay, so that's kind of the move that we're looking to do, and the volumes have to be playing game, okay, because ultimately the volumes here, they have to spike up, they have to spike down, and then they have to spike up again. Okay, so everything has to follow the same kind of pattern for a perfect kind of breakout scenario, and I'm hoping that that is what we're going to start seeing. The 25.3 is the key area that we want to break first, and then we want to make sure that we can flip 25.3 into support. So let's go ahead and pull this up into our daily. And here we're going to start talking about where things potentially are going to go once we get past that all-time high. So the very first price target here for Vechain comes in at 40.2 cent, and that's approximately 80% move from the current position. If I pull that down onto the line exactly there, there we go. Right, so that's about 82%. Okay, So that's the first price target, an 82% move. The second price target comes in here at 60 cent. And that is, if I pull this up, 171% from the current position. And then after that, we have a 79.9 cent Vechain coin and VET coin, and that comes in at 261%, followed by the top here, which is a 92.1 cent. And that one here looks like a 316% in gains. Now, a lot of people in the space are talking about a $2 VET token or VET coin. And I do think that is a very much a stretch target. But if that were to be achieved, that would be 806% in gains. Now, I've often say that I want to see 50 cent get hit. I want to see what the charts are looking like at 50 cent. And then obviously see, take out some of those early price points first, get to $1, then see what the timelines are looking like, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, I think 50 cent is kind of obvious at this point. And yeah, I'd like to see the dollar. The $2 seems a bit like a stretch target to me, but I would like to see that as well. I mean, if there's a project that's going to do it, it's going to be something like Vechain, with a very long list of partnerships that they have, and the fact that they're not listed on Coinbase yet. Coinbase could be a massive driver for Vechain, and I do think that's just around the corner. We did a whole video on that, didn't we, Chris?
Yeah, we did. There's a few reasons why we think that could be the case.
So watch that space quite closely, because if it becomes more easily accessible by the general public, and they start doing a little bit of research, not a lot, just a little bit, into Vechain, they'll discover just how much of a powerhouse it absolutely is. The partnerships with that Vechain have is kind of unrivaled by many other projects. I mean, you have government contracts in China, you obviously have DNVGL, you've got PwC, and then obviously you've got Walmart China, BMW, Renault, H&M, a whole list of luxury brands. The list kind of goes on and on and on. And I think it won't take a lot of research from a retail investor to find out. So I think Coinbase is going to be an absolute driver for VET, and I can see it really paying dividends for many of us early investors. But Chris, obviously I've kind of spoken through what the charts are looking like. It's looking pretty good. I think we have a pretty solid chance to try and take that 25.3 cent out as long as those volumes come in. But is there anything else that you would like to kind of leave the guys with on this Vechain video? Obviously, this is your biggest bag, so I feel that you probably do have something to say.
Yeah, I've been invested in this one for an awful long time, and it's great to see that it's had that sort of price discovery to a point. I don't think it's anywhere near finished. I think there's lots in the tank, and do I subscribe to that $2 Vechain? I think that's a real stretch target. But if there is a project that's going to be in a position to be able to do that, and I mean, we're seeing the likes of I'm going to call it Dogecoin, get into where it is in terms of market cap. It does make it seem more realistic for a project with as many partnerships as what Vechain has got, and the use cases that it's got as well. So yeah, I guess anything's possible in crypto. I think $1 more realistic, but I would love to be sat at $2. That would just be remarkable.
It really, really would. So guys, hopefully you found this video useful, informative, maybe even entertaining at times. If you did, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate that. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with those new, cryptocurrencies, hidden gems, all that technical analysis and news, then do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with absolutely everything we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It is free. You'll stay well informed. So why not? And with all of that said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.